friends, welcome back to my channel. So today I am super excited for this video because we are testing out a foundation that Tati has recently been raving about. No, not the Catrice one, not the Catrice one. We are going to be testing out today the RCMA liquid foundation. So I'm really actually excited to try this out. She sold me when she did her video on this. I can have it linked down below for you in case you missed it, but we are going to be doing a first impressions along with a wear test today to see how it lasts all day long. Before we get started, don't forget to upload every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday for you guys. If you like this video while you're watching it, please go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. It really does help my channel out. And other than that, if you're excited and you want to see the new RCMA foundation in action, then let's go ahead and get started. So like I said, Tati was raving about this foundation in one of her recent videos, and she just said it's like the best foundation she's like ever tried. And I was like, what? Because she's tried a lot of foundations. I mean, she's like the queen of YouTube. So a little bit of stats on this baby right here. It retails for $36. Now, I did not pay $36 for it because you can only get free shipping on the RCMA website, and I'm pretty sure that's the only place you can order this. Don't quote me, I might be wrong. You might be able to get it from other places, but you can only get free shipping on the RCMA website with orders over $85, and this is $36. So I did end up having to pay shipping, which was $8.50. I feel like that's kind of high, especially since it's just coming from California. But anyway, so I ended up paying $44.50. So this is not like the cheapest foundation out there, but it's got a lot of really good claims, so I'm excited. Another thing I really like about this, RCMA is more of a makeup artist sort of brand, so it's very intuitive and it's supposed to be like really full coverage and all of that. So this comes in 36 shades, and I really like how they have it broken down by the shade sections. It's very intuitive, like I said. It's very easy to choose your shade. They have 3 different undertones: cool/golden, neutral, and warm/peach. So they have 12 shades in each of those undertones, so you go to what undertone you are, and then it's very easy to pick a shade because it's not like porcelain or like buff or I don't know, warm honey. Like it's literally light, medium dark, deep dark. You know what I mean? Like it's very easy and simple to pick out your shade. You know exactly what you're getting. So I thought that was really, really awesome. Another thing, this brand is cruelty-free, vegan, talc-free, paraben-free, gluten-free, all free of all the bad stuff. So I thought that was very cool. So it comes in this container right here, the box. When you pull it out, it's actually like an interesting shaped bottle component. I don't really have any other foundations that are long and skinny like this. I ended up picking the shade Neutral 110. So I went with the neutral undertone and I got the lightest one. So I think this is like the fair one because yo girl is fair. So I'm hoping that this matches me. I already pumped it out and swatched it, so I think it's going to. This baby claims to be a full coverage, lightweight for all day wear, and some key ingredients it has is olive oil, and that is supposed to help with hydration but without clogging the pores. So this is supposed to be full coverage and hydrating, but it won't like clog your pores or do any of the bad stuff to your face. It claims that's what it says. Also, butter powder. I've never heard of butter powder, but it's supposed to give it like a creamy texture so there's no like dryness on your face. And functional fillers. Yeah, functional fillers, which are supposed to improve your skin feel along with hiding your wrinkles. I need that. And it's supposed to be texture improving. So this has a lot of claims, not only from the brand, but also Tati. So I'm excited. I am not going to put a primer on, even though I want to. I want to put a primer on. I truly, truly do. But this says it's hydrating on its own. So I am not going to put a primer on. But also really quickly, you do get 1 fluid ounce. So that is the typical amount of foundation that you would get in pretty much any other foundation. I actually really like this component. I think it's nice and sleek. It'll fit into like a makeup bag nicely. It's not big and bulky. So I really like this. So let's go ahead and pump out some on the back of my hand, just to see. So it's definitely a little bit more liquidy of a texture. It's running down my hand, but I don't mind that. I'm hoping I like this, guys. I haven't been having the best luck with makeup recently. By the time this video is out, you have already seen my Pat McGrath quad video that I did not enjoy that quad at all. You should have probably already seen my Glam Light wine palette review. That was rough. My full face of Essence was also a little bit rough. So I have not been having the best luck with makeup recently. So I'm really hoping that I end up liking this. And not that I'm happy that my skin is going through it, because I'm not. But we are really gonna put this foundation to the test today because there's a lot to cover. There's a lot to cover on this face right now. I feel like I wake up every day with a new pimple around my mouth, on my face. It's great. I love it. I'm just like hardcore breaking out. So we are going to dot this on the face and blend it out. I don't know how much I need to use. I mean, Tati, when I watched her video, it was like very, very full opacity with not very much product. So let's see. This is actually looks like a pretty good color match for me. I feel like a little yellow, even though it's a neutral undertone. Maybe I'm not a neutral undertone. I feel like every foundation I try is like yellow on me. Maybe I'm not a neutral undertone then. I don't know. Ooh, yeah, there is some pigmentation there. Yes, you guys know. Well, if you don't know, I love a full coverage foundation. Like, that's my jam because I got stuff to cover. So this is blending out very nicely. It's not like drying too quickly or anything. Maybe a little quick. Maybe I shouldn't have dotted my whole face, but that's okay. It is still blending out. That definitely has some coverage on it. That's nice. Add some to this forehead. I feel like I'm covering my whole face with just one pump, so that's nice, which makes sense because it is supposed to be like full opacity and have a lot of pigmentation, so you shouldn't have to use a lot of it. But yeah, I pretty much did my whole face with one pump. I am gonna get a tiny bit more, like maybe half a pump more, about that. And I am going to put just a little bit down here so I can drag it down my neck a little bit. I always like to drag my foundation down my neck to make it just match a little bit better. This is blending out like a dream. And I feel like I am like blending for a while, but I think that's me. Like I probably could have stopped like 5 minutes ago. Alrighty, so right off the bat, just first impressions after I got it blended in. Also, I didn't use even the whole half pump that I chose. So really, I do think one pump would suffice for your face. So right off the bat, now that I got it blended in very nicely. It did not dry too quickly. I had time, I feel like, to blend it in. It is looking slightly dry in the areas that I typically look dry in with a foundation. So like around my nose, it's a little dry. This zit right here, it looks dry all around that, but that's probably just the skin around it is dry from like zit cream, you know what I mean? Like, so all the acne like here on my face, it is emphasizing the dryness a little bit. But that's typical, and I feel like any foundation would emphasize the dry skin from acne on your skin because it is dry, you know what I mean? It is still looking slightly dry in between my eyebrows as well. So like my trouble area where I look dry is looking slightly dry. However, I also didn't use a primer. I do think if I were to have used a hydrating primer like the Smashbox Primerizer, even the Tatcha Liquid Silk Canvas, I feel like I like this right now, and it looks good on my face, but I feel like I would like it more with a primer. Again, that's pretty typical with me in foundations. I hardly ever just wear a foundation with not a primer. And then here around my nose, it's looking a little bit dry as well. But it's not looking like too cakey or anything, maybe a tiny bit in my nose crevices, but not anything too bad. And yeah, like that had pretty like good pigmentation, good coverage. You can still see a tiny bit, but I would say this is pretty full coverage. I would say this is on par with all my other full coverage foundations. I'm liking this. Yeah, I'm liking this a lot. And I did, you guys saw, apply it with a sponge. I can't remember how Tati applied it in her video, but I'm assuming this probably would work well with a brush too. I just never apply my foundations with a brush. So far I'm impressed, like really impressed. I figure I'll go ahead and do my concealer and powder on camera with you guys so that way you can see how it blends out with it, if the powder makes it look more dry, anything like that. Yeah, it does feel a little tacky. I would definitely want to set this, but I feel like if you are not someone who sets your foundation ever, you would be fine. It's not like it's super tacky or anything like that. I think you could get away with not setting this, but I myself just like the feeling of setting my face. I don't like when it's tacky. So I'm gonna put a little bit of the Kosas Revealer Concealer on, which is a little dark for me, so I'm going to mix it with my Dose of Colors Meet Your Hue Concealer that I'm trying to finish up. And we're going to blend these out. I think I'm just gonna put it under my eyes and not like the rest of my face so we can see how the coverage holds up throughout the day with the foundation on its own. Okay, yeah, so it blended completely fine right here. Sometimes with certain foundations and concealers, it can get funky right here where you are like trying to mesh them together, and it didn't. It blended out perfectly fine. It looks completely seamless. That's kind of one of the main reasons I wanted to do my concealer on camera for you guys. Sometimes it'd be looking funky, but not today. Okay, I just went ahead and set under my eyes with my Jaclyn Hill Brightening and Setting Palette. Then for the rest of my face, I'm gonna go in with my Anastasia Beverly Hills Loose Setting Powder. This is in the shade Vanilla. I love this powder. It is like one of my favorites. So let's see, hopefully it doesn't, this powder is usually not drying on me at all. So hopefully it continues to not make this foundation dry. Okay, so the powder did make it look a little bit dry, just slightly, nothing terrible. Again, the acne around my mouth, it is emphasizing the dryness there, if you can see, and then a little bit on my chin, but nothing bad, nothing too bad. Typically with this, I would probably just put a more hydrating setting spray on, like the Fenty Would It Do Mist or something like that at the end, and that would pretty much alleviate that. I don't think I'm going to use a setting spray today, just to see how the foundation is completely on its own, no primer, no setting spray. But on a typical day, if my face was looking dry like this, I would fix it. But I'm just not going to today. But it doesn't look too bad, and I feel like from far away you can't see. It's only if you're like right up in my grill, which no one really gets that close to my face. So yeah, this is looking good. I'm actually really impressed with this foundation. So far, I feel like Tati led me in the right direction, and I am liking this so far. Obviously, I just applied it. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and put on the rest of my makeup. I will come back on, show you the final look, tell you how everything blended over it, and then we will go in front of that window back there in a little bit and show you it in natural light. Also, I wanted to let you know it is 10:20, but I don't know, I feel like I finished applying the foundation a while ago, so maybe I will call the check-in like 10:15, I don't know, around there, around 10, just for later in the day for when we are doing our check-ins. But I will go finish my makeup and I'll be back in one sec. All right, and my makeup is complete. A couple more things I wanted to point out about this foundation. It's made in the United States and it has a 24-month shelf life. I feel like that's pretty nice because most foundations have about a 12-month shelf life, so you get twice the amount of time that you can use this foundation, which is nice. So everything blended over this pretty nicely. I did have a little bit of trouble with my bronzer getting patchy right here, but I also have like acne right there. So I think that might have been why more so than the foundation. I'm not going to lie, it feels very dry on my face right now, and it's looking pretty dry as well, like on my forehead and my chin and stuff, all the places I said earlier it was looking dry. So here's my thing though. I would never wear this foundation on its own. I would almost always put a hydrating primer on, and like I said earlier, a hydrating setting spray. So let me know down below in the comments if you guys are okay with future foundation wear tests, if I do go ahead and put on a primer and a setting spray and all of that, because part of me doesn't want to do those things, so it really can just show what the foundation does on its own. But then the other part of me is like, it's hard for me to judge it accurately because this is never how I would actually wear it. I would always put a primer and a setting spray on it. So it's like, I don't know what to do. So please let me know down in the comments what you prefer, if you want to see it on its own or if you want to see it how I would actually wear it. Because right now I'm feeling like I don't know if I like it because it's so drying, but I also didn't do the steps that I normally take to make foundations not drying on me, because a lot of them are, you know what I mean? So anyways, let's go to that window right there and I'll show you it all in natural light. Alrighty, so this is what it's looking like in natural light. I'm standing right in front of my window. Also, I forgot to say, if you were curious about anything else on my face, as always, it'll be listed and linked down below for you. So, getting real up close and personal. If you can see, it's just really dry on my chin and around those acne spots, which I, figured. It is getting a little cakey in my nose crevice. Here's the forehead. So overall, I don't hate it. I think it's a great shade match for me. And I think if I would have taken the precautions to make it not drying, it probably wouldn't look as dry. But this is what it's looking like around 10:30 in the morning. So I'll be back in a few hours for a check-in. See you then. Alrighty guys, so I'm back for my midday check-in. It is about 2:45 right now, so I've had the foundation on for 4.5, almost 5 hours. I'm not gonna lie, it's not looking as good as I thought it was going to, like 5 hours in. It's definitely looking pretty oily, like on my forehead. I don't know if you can Like, see that sheen and shine there? And it's looking just really bad right here in this region. It's looking really cakey along my nose crevices and like breaking up quite a bit on my chin, as well as going into my smile lines and just looking very just dry and cakey. Just, it's not looking good right here, which that is the area that foundation breaks up on me and looks bad on me the most. Like, if a foundation is going to look bad, it is going to be here. So that makes sense. I just kind of was almost expecting it to hold up a little bit better. And I really haven't like put it through the ringer. Like, I haven't done a whole lot today so far. I went and picked up our groceries, but it was like a pickup, so I didn't like go in the store or anything. And other than that, I've been sitting at home doing laundry and editing. So, and watching Ohio State football. So I haven't really been doing a lot, but Mike and I are about to go do something. We don't entirely know yet, but it's like a really beautiful day outside. And I turned to him, we were sitting on the couch and I turned to him and I was like, honey, I feel guilty that it's like so nice outside and like sunny and beautiful. And we're just like sitting here watching football, doing nothing inside. So we're gonna go somewhere. I don't know exactly where. I think he mentioned a park to walk around, and then I don't know, we'll see where the day takes us. We haven't decided yet, but so I will be out and about. I'm assuming if we go anywhere, I mean, I'll have my mask on and stuff. I don't know if we're like gonna go anywhere inside. Anyways, you guys don't care. The point is, I am about to like go do something with my day. So we shall see how it holds up from here on. But like here up, it's looking fine, but like here down, it's looking kind of rough. I mean, it's holding the pigmentation and coverage there, but it's not looking very good, guys. But yeah, that's my midday check-in. I will be back in another couple of hours for my final check-in. See you then. Alrighty, friends, we are back for our final check-in. It is 7:35, if you can see here on the phone, my husband's phone. So I got about like a 9.5-9 hour wear test in. I figured that was a pretty good wear test, but it's 7:30. I want to go shower and take this makeup off. This makeup is expired. So we ended up going to a park, walking around. It really wasn't like that hot. I didn't get like super sweaty, but I was like out in the sun, walking around. We ran a couple errands. So I had my mask like on and off, but I didn't have it on for a super long amount of time. Like total, I probably had my mask on maybe 5 minutes. So I feel like I held up fine under my mask, but again, I wasn't wearing it for a super long time. So I have some qualms about this foundation. If I'm just judging how it looks right this second, it does not look that good. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna come up and close and personal. I'm sorry if I have some acne on my face. That is just, I'm struggling, you guys. My face is just struggling right now. I don't know what is going on, but it's looking pretty rough. It is looking really, really dry on my nose and just really dry and cakey along my mouth and on my chin. It broke up a lot on my chin, if you can see, and it really, really emphasized my smile lines, especially on this side. And then again, like earlier, my nose crevices just look pretty cakey, and it is looking a little broken apart on my forehead as well. I held the coverage pretty decently down here, which is nice. But here's the thing, if the foundation looked like this, with all of my steps, all of my precautions that I typically take, I would be like, this is probably a pass foundation. But because, like I said earlier in the video, I did not use a primer, I did not use a setting spray, I really, really think this would benefit from that. I think if I put on my Tatcha Liquid Silk Canvas or my Hourglass Mineral Veil primer, both of those are beautiful primers that really do help foundation stay. Or if I set it with my like Urban Decay De-Slick, now that I know it did get a little bit oily on me. I know I kept saying earlier to add hydrating products, but now I see that it really did get pretty oily on my face. So I don't think that that is necessary. But I really do think that if I used one of those two primers and one of those two setting sprays, did I say the setting sprays? I don't think I did. But the setting sprays I would apply is the Urban Decay All Nighter or the Urban Decay De-Slick or the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless setting spray. I think a combination of a primer and a setting spray would really, really help this foundation out. Like I truly, truly do. So I'm not writing it off. I'm not saying that I don't like it, even though right now it's not looking very good on my face, especially right here. I'm not writing it off. I am excited to keep testing it out and keep trying it. I would rate it on its own like a 3 or 4 out of 10. But I'm gonna have to try this again. I'm gonna have to definitely keep you guys updated on this foundation for sure once I've tried it other days, other ways. So far, I don't really recommend this, and I don't know if Tati led me in the right direction, but I'm gonna have to definitely give it a go way more than just this one time. So that was it, you guys. That was my first impressions and a wear test on the RCMA foundation. Let me know if you guys are planning on picking this up. Did you watch Tati's video as well, and were you like sold and sucked in as I was? Because I'm telling you, as soon as I watched your video, I was like, I'm trying this foundation. Like, I want it. So let me know down below if you have tried this or if you are planning on trying it. But other than that, if you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. You're awesome. I love you. Please subscribe if you have not yet, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye, guys.